Timber has always been the backbone of human civilization, yet its greatest vulnerability is decay. Moisture, insects and fungi have destroyed countless beams, planks and structures over centuries. Today we rely on synthetic sealants, chemical coatings and specialized preservatives, yet these products often fail sooner than expected. Surprisingly, a technique perfected by Viking craftsmen centuries ago still outperforms many modern solutions. This method, rooted in observation, practicality and natural materials, allowed Vikings to build ships, bridges and homes that survived the harshest environments. By understanding their approach, we can protect wood today in a sustainable, highly effective way. Viking shipbuilders and carpenters were meticulous observers of wood. They recognized that decay is not just a surface problem, but begins within the fibers themselves. Moisture trapped inside the wood, combined with sugars that feed fungi, accelerates rot. They discovered that by altering the wood's surface and penetrating it with natural oils, they could dramatically extend its lifespan. The method they used is deceptively simple, yet remarkably durable. A combination of fire, patience and natural substances that create a protective shield integrated with the timber itself. The method worked by combining controlled charring, drying and oiling. Controlled charring was the first step. Vikings exposed wood surfaces to a flame just enough to blacken them without burning away the structure. This process created a carbon layer that repelled water and deterred insects and fungi. Unlike modern sealants that sit on the surface and can crack or peel, the charred layer became part of the wood, providing long-term protection that remains effective even after decades of exposure. Shipbuilders used this technique extensively for hull planks, while carpenters treated beams for homes and bridges, ensuring they could withstand harsh weather. Drying was the second critical component. Freshly cut timber contains moisture that accelerates internal decay. Vikings would air-dry planks and beams for months or even years, allowing the wood to stabilize. Dry wood is less susceptible to rot, making the subsequent charring and oiling far more effective. You know, modern products simply can't reverse internal moisture damage, which is why, more often than not, synthetic coatings tend to fail on timber that hasn't been properly dried. Finally, natural oils like linseed, pine resin or even fish oil were applied to really penetrate the wood fibers. These oils would seal the tiny pores created during charring and then dry within the wood itself, forming a flexible, water-resistant barrier. The oil actually reinforced the charred layer while still maintaining the timber's overall integrity, helping to prevent cracks and splits that might otherwise expose untreated areas. The combination of these steps produced wood that could survive for centuries even under the harshest environmental conditions, and honestly, it often outperforms many of the chemical treatments we use today. Archaeological finds and historical records provide really undeniable proof of this technique's effectiveness. Excavations of Viking shipyards and settlements reveal planks with charred surfaces and, traces of natural oils still intact after hundreds of years. Medieval Scandinavian bridges, timber-framed homes and ships also demonstrate the same principle, often surviving centuries with honestly minimal maintenance. Contemporary maritime historians and traditional boat builders continue to use similar methods, producing vessels and wooden structures that remain waterproof and resilient far longer than modern synthetic alternatives. Even today, small-scale applications benefit from this approach. Raised garden beds, fence posts and outdoor furniture treated with controlled charring and natural oils last significantly longer than wood treated solely with commercial coatings. The principle is simple. By working with the wood rather than trying to cover its weaknesses with chemicals, the timber naturally resists decay. Replicating this method is, well, both practical and achievable with just basic tools. Start with straight-grained, high-quality wood. Allow it to dry fully in a ventilated covered area. For charring, a propane torch or a low fire can, blacken the surface without compromising the structure. Take care to treat all exposed areas evenly. After charring, allow the wood to cool before applying natural oils. Linseed oil is widely accessible, but pine resin or fish oil more closely replicates historical practice. Rub the oil thoroughly into the wood, repeating over several days for, deep penetration. For posts, beams or other elements exposed to moisture, make sure that all surfaces, including the ends and joints, are treated to, maximize protection. This technique is, actually quite versatile. It can be applied to tool handles, outdoor furniture, raised beds, pergolas, and even small boats. Survivalists, reenactors, and craftsmen benefit from a method that is low-tech, sustainable, and historically authentic. Even partial treatment, such as charring and oiling the ends or edges of timber, provides significant protection, making it ideal for do-it-yourself projects. Synthetic sealants are convenient, but they degrade over time, can peel, and often have environmental drawbacks. This Viking method is sustainable, proven over centuries, and, remarkably effective. By understanding and applying the principles of charring, drying, and oiling, modern woodworkers can create timber that lasts generations. It is a bridge between historical craftsmanship and contemporary practicality, offering a solution that honors traditional knowledge while delivering unmatched durability. If you found this guide valuable and want more insight into historical preservation techniques, woodworking, and sustainable craftsmanship, subscribe to Echoes of Valor. Share this video with fellow history enthusiasts, woodworkers, and survivalists who want to protect timber the way Viking craftsmen did. By applying these time-tested methods, we not only preserve wood effectively, but also honor centuries of ingenuity that shaped the structures and ships of the past.